here we are. These are the finished products. These are what I'll be showing you to make. I hope you really enjoy the video. Let's have a quick look inside this one. As we've seen inside the other one, you'll get the inside of this one at the end of this video. So here we go. So it's a old copy of an old letter written in French, which I decided to make into a little folio, ephemera folio, for in my, a little bit of glue there, for in my deconstructed journal kit. So we've got a little sort of scrap piece there, and a little card that says artist. It's just caught on the glue. There we go. And then inside, so it opens up this way. So here we've got various ephemera. So there's some Tim Holtz and then some other bits and pieces of pretty paper as well. And they are in this side, this little pocket. And then on this side, we have got some writing space there. And then we've got a reproduction of a letter from 1907, complete with little tea and coffee stains. And that just sits there. And then another little Tim Holtz piece of ephemera. And that sits in there. So two lovely pieces. Hope you enjoy watching the video. Please remember to give me a thumbs up if you do. Thank you. Enjoy. Okay, so I've got my papers ready, my letters. I went into Google and I put in all letters written in French, and one of these is from the Graphics Fairy. I think it could have been this one. I'm not sure who this one was from. They were in the public domain. I just copied and pasted them onto some coffee dyed paper, which I did yesterday. So we're going to make some like folio envelopes out of paper, which I thought was quite a funky idea. So I've got my glue, my good old school glue, Elmer's glue, PVA glue. I've got a little basket here with vintage papers in, and what I'm going to do on the back side of this, I'm going to put on some papers, some of these papers. So let's just pop some glue on. And stick our papers on. Let's have a look through what we have. This is quite a nice piece of, this is from an old ledger. Let's pop that on the back. I thought on their own they're just a bit too flimsy if you choose not to put anything over, unless of course you used cardstock to print on. So today I was going to cook a nice Sunday meal for me and hubby. However, he's decided he's painting the kitchen, so off he goes. Quite a bit of it's tile, so there's actually not a lot to paint, but I thought, well, let's let him paint and I'll come in here and do another video. Do a bit of crafting. Let's have a look in here. Oh, this is quite funky. It's a poem. Oh, it's Mother Shipton's Prophecies. So Mother Shipton was a wise woman in England, and from Yorkshire actually, and she prophesied. Now she lived by a well, which they call the petrifying well, and it does have so many different sort of are they called chemicals? Not chemicals, minerals in it, that it actually sets things like to stone. I mean, because it's a calcifying. Calcium, that's what's in there. So, but Mother Shipton, of course, back in the day, because things in the water calcified, and she was an elderly wise woman who lived by the well, she was accused of witchcraft for that. And I think she was, whether she was hung, drowned, I'm not sure, but I do know that she wouldn't have come to a very clever ending, because women didn't. This is some French. I'm just going to take that little bit of white space off the top there. Yeah, she wouldn't have come to a good end. I think it was in the time of when we had the witch trials in England. Yes, we had them in England as well. Because of the Reformation in Europe, which came across to England, and it was basically done, as I'm sure it was in America, to put the fear of God into people. I'll tear that extra bit off shortly. Let's have a look. I want a long piece for there. Let's have a look. Got some music paper. Put that down there. Do myself a strip. I'm going to make it a little bit longer because I want to tear off the white edging bit. So I just have a basket here where I put my bits and bobs into, you know, of vintage papers as I'm going along. Ones I might have taken off for other projects. So this is going to go there. Take it all the way down. And then I just need a strip of something for across there. Oh, look at this. Just saw from making my envelopes yesterday out of, this is what I lined the envelopes with, this ledger paper. Now that isn't, I hadn't planned that. That is what happens from saving all your scraps and things. You never know just when they're going to come into use. So my son's in Australia, and I woke up in the night thinking of him being his daytime, and he's in Sydney, and he had been due to go to Bondi Beach, and thank goodness he didn't, because there was the terrible shootings on Bondi Beach last night. So thank goodness he'd already told me that he wasn't going earlier in the day. Well, at some point I get my, was 11 and a half, he's 11 and a half hours ahead of us. So he'd already said he wasn't going. So, when I read that, I thought, oh my goodness. I went onto the WhatsApp anyway, message to say, Mum, we're safe, we're well, we were nowhere near Bondi Beach. And then, lo and behold, what do I read next? About the shootings on Rhode Island. And I thought, oh my goodness, what is this world coming to? Now, as you can see, I've put it so that all the writing is the right way. I just think for this project that will look really, really neat. So I'm just going to let that dry. Whoops. Oh. Just going to let that dry. And as soon as it's dry, I will be back. Okay, so this is dry now. So I'm just going to use this opportunity just to ink around the edge. Now, I was just scratching my head then thinking, wow, it doesn't look quite square. So I folded it. Anyway, it is square. It's me who may not have stuck the papers on absolutely straight. But that's part of the beauty, isn't it? So I'm just using the opportunity to go all around. And I'm going to do that on both sides. My daughter who's in Europe, she's in Germany. She's gone to Cologne. She's in Cologne, but they've gone to Dusseldorf today, and she loves ice cream. And not ice cream, rice pudding. She loves rice pudding. So she's gone to Dusseldorf and she's just sent me a picture. And it's rice pudding, which is basically rice baked with milk and sugar and sometimes cream. So she sent me this picture of the rice pudding. And what has she got in it? Strawberries and nuts and Nutella and Kinder and caramel, just about everything possible. But she's in a bloom of pregnancy, so 22 weeks almost, so she'll regret it. She will regret it. Right, we're going to, dependent on the size now of your piece of paper, it'll be where you fold these. Now I have let this dry because, as I've mentioned in other videos, the paper's much easier to fold and looks much better once it's dried. Otherwise you do get wrinkles and extra creases and things in it. So that is there, and then we'll fold this side over. And I don't want it to come right over. I'm going to bring it to about there. So it's like a little document wallet. So, you know, I can give you measurements, but this is sort of eye and using your eye and what you might like and want from this. So let's just go along there as well. I've just got a little bit of paper sticking up there. Oh, it's just going to peel it off actually. It's not required. Right, so this pocket I'm going to fasten down each side. I might even stitch it down. But what I want to do, I want to just make this edge prettier. So I'm going to get my scraps of paper. This is better. This is better. Here we go. See how I have them all together in, I have all my scraps together in sort of, in sizes. Right, so these are all my strips. So let's have a look here. So this is pretty. So what I want to do is put them along here. So I'm going to just tear these. And this is, because this is going to be a pocket, it just gives this edge extra strength. So that one we will just glue onto there. This one, this is a similar sorts of colours. Now if you don't get them exactly the same depth, it doesn't matter. Remember, this is a deconstructed junk journal and not everything has to be absolutely perfect. That can go onto there. That's lovely. And then let's have a look. See, look at that. It's as though it was made to go there, isn't it? So this one can go just there. I'm just going to cut that bit off actually where I've torn it by mistake there. That one can go there. Those are pretty, aren't they? So let's just glue these on. Now then it's up to you. You can just glue this or you can stitch, and I'm actually going to just stitch up these two sides. and I'll come back when I've stitched. I'll come back, and the other one that I'm making, the other letter envelope, will be at the same point. Then we can just carry on. Pop that on there. I saw Roxy Creations make this. It's where I've got my inspiration from. And then Roxy Creations got it from somewhere else. And that's what we do in journaling, don't we? It's like Chinese whispers, I think. We see an idea, we get the inspiration, we add a bit of our own, and then we share it, and then the next person does the same, adds a bit on to make it their own. And that's how we end up with all these beautiful, beautiful things. Right, that's there. I'm going to let that dry. Let's get my ink, inky ink. Just going to go across the top there. Lovely. And I'm going to let that dry, then I'm just going to stitch up there, there and there. It's pretty, isn't it? Okay, back in a 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. So here we go. I've stitched around this edge here so that I've got a pocket. And I thought this would be nice to put ephemera into from the Deconstructed Journal. It's also stitched around, well obviously, because that's the other side, stitched around, and there we go. Now this one, I've done it on the other side because I like this. So I've got one opening that way and one opening that way. So I've got myself some vintage lace out because I thought this would look pretty down here on both of them. What do you think? Should we do that now? Yep, we will. So we'll get the fabric tack out. And down we go. Do you know it's only 3 o'clock and it's dark outside? We are heading toward, oh, I've had to cover up that 1837, never mind. We are heading towards one of the shortest day of the year, aren't we? The 20th. Is it the 14th today? Yeah. So in another 7 days, woohoo, it'll start to get lighter at night. Wow. Now there's a thought for you. That looks pretty, doesn't it? I could have stitched it on, but I didn't want to. You could have glued, where I've stitched around the other pocket, you could have glued that if you'd have wished. So let's put some fabric tack down here. And then I'm going to get out my pretty bits and pieces and we'll decorate the outside of this little folder. Decorating is always my favourite bit. There we go. Take that down there. Lovely. Lovely. And what I'm also going to do now, I got this out yesterday because I thought it was so pretty. Just to demonstrate about where you need to fold for envelopes so you don't get them upside down. So what I thought I'm going to do with that, in fact, we can put the glue test down on this side. That's handy. With this, I'm going to make a little pocket on this side, which is here on this one. So to do that, I am going to take those end bits off. I don't know where I got this from. It's from my big stash of papers that I printed off like crazy. I was like somebody possessed when I was making a fairy journal. I was making one fairy journal and I must have printed off about 300 pieces of paper. I just kept going and going and going and going for it, thinking, oh, I like that, I like that, I like that. Anyway, I'm trying to use them all up. I'm trying to use everything I have at the moment so as not to have to buy things. So if I want it to come up, oh, that's going to be covered up. I'm going to bring it up to about there, I think. About there. And I'm going to double it. So I double it there just so that it's nice and... In fact, if I double it, then I'm wasting some of it, aren't I? I'll have to back it. I'll have to back it. That was a ridiculous tear, Sharon Alexander. Right, I'm going to glue this onto here. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing, she says. This is like blotting paper, out of an old ledger. So it's not as important as a ledger paper. However, blotting paper was very, very important when you write or wrote with ink. Used to love blotting paper at school. Used to spend all time just blotting and blotting my ink onto it. Great fun watching it spread out. Let's stick that onto there. And then we can just tear this off. I am thirsty. Do you know, we had a Chinese meal last night at home, a takeaway. It was delicious, by the way. And I think it's is it the monosodium glutamate? I'm so thirsty today. I'm like gasping, absolutely gasping for fluids. There we go. Right, fold that in half. I'm not folding it in half as such. I know I say don't fold it while you're gluing, but while your glue's wet, but I'm not folding it for that purpose. I'm folding it for the purpose of tearing. So one can go on there and one can go on the other one. So this one, so I can take it off. See, I love that. I'm going to just take it off there. It's coming off there. Save all your bits. That's nice. Ink. Let's get it all inked up nice. So, because he's done my kitchen, I thought he'd take me out for dinner, Sunday dinner. No, that ain't happening. Do you know why? Because he's sensible. And he went out before he started the kitchen while I was still coming to. Let's just put some glue around the edge of this. We'll glue this on. Yeah, so while I was still waking up early this morning, he went to the supermarket and he's bought some microwave meal each. So, wonderful of him. Wonderful. Wonderful that I don't need to do the kitchen today. Wonderful that I don't need to cook a Sunday dinner today. And I thought, oh, I'll be going out for dinner then. But now, I do have to have a microwave meal for my Sunday dinner. He's got cottage pie. So, there we go. Right, this one. cottage pie. I thought, do you know what cottage pie is, my friends from across the seas? Is it the same in your country as ours? It is mincemeat, which is that ground beef, cooked in tasty, tasty gravy. It will have some veg in with it as well. Cottage pie, and then it has mashed potato on top. Sometimes the mash has cheese in, sometimes the cheese is sprinkled on top, and that's baked in the oven. Oh, it's got onions, so the mincemeat and onions are fried, the gravy's added, and whatever veg, then it's into the oven with it, and with the mashed potato on top to crisp up the mashed potato. Lovely soul food. Really nice, but to me it's something I'd have in the week. Yeah, but he's been very considerate, hasn't he? So I can't knock him for that. There we go. And you see, I liked that I've done the edging as we'd gone along, because distress the edging with the oxide ink. Right. So now I need to decorate the 2 wallets. So I've gone through my Tim Holtz collections and pulled out some nice bits and pieces, ephemera to decorate with. That's what we're going to do now. So I do like, I've got a bit of a penchant, is that the word, at the moment for tags. So I'm going to put these tags on the front because I thought they would make like a really good label, you know, if you wanted to put your name on. So let's just go around the edge there. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this look prettier. I'm going to make it look prettier. Let's get into the atmosphere here. Right, there we go. That's prettier, isn't it? I could even light a candle, couldn't I? Whoa, that's gone mad. Right, so this is the first one here. So I'm just going to put a little label on there, and then whoever has this could write their own details. Now I'm not using my Elmer's and school glue, etc. I'm using the Fabri-Tac because one, it glues quicker, but I do think when you're doing the smaller things, I think it's much better. So we can put that onto there. And then this one, we can do the same. Let's take that out of there. Assembly department reject. Don't think we really, I hope these aren't rejected. I hope this video you're enjoying, and I hope, in fact I wanted some of these old, you know, original things to stick over those. I think that's too tiny, that hole. I hope I don't get a reject on this piece of work. Please don't reject me. I hope you like the video. If you do, please like, please subscribe. I'm really trying to grow my channel. I've got my 1,000 followers now, so that's really good. Let's pop this one here. And then I've got this little, it's like a little old-fashioned ring strengthener, punch strengthener. Let's just pop that over the top of that. There we go. Adds a bit more texture as well. Right. These, oh, I can cry now because these are the last of these flowers I got in the United States have all gone. I can't get them online. I'm just like absolutely gutted. But I do believe they're going to go perfect on the front of here. So bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, that'll look nice, won't it? Particularly as the other envelope that I made yesterday. I've got flowers on the front of that and leaves and things. There's things falling off my table. So I was decorating my stairs this morning at home. I put some like Christmas tree, you know, wrapped around the banister handle where the spindles are. It looks really nice. Really pleased with it. Just, I've got lights on there that don't plug in. You need batteries for. So, have we got any batteries? No. And I have a feeling that my son, when he moved out to his own house, has took all the batteries with him because he will have wanted them for his PlayStation or whatever. Whatever. That's nice. Put another one on. Yeah. Things do look nice in odd numbers, don't they? Let's just move this one to the side. So, there we go. That's nice. Ooh. Ooh. Got something not distressed. Right, so that's that. So that's the right way up. Let's do the other side here. I mean, you could put we could put a pocket on the back as well, couldn't we, actually? Oh, I could use one of these Tim Holtz ones, couldn't I? Wow, I'm cooking with gas now, aren't I? Do I want a pocket on the back? Come on, guys. Do I want a pocket on the back? Do I want a pocket on the back? Well, I don't want that one, but I think that would actually go quite nice there, wouldn't it? Yep. So let's have a pocket on the back. Just came to me that in a flash of creative inspiration. So we'll just go down each side, across the bottom, up the top, a little pocket there. We'll put some bits and pieces in that when it's dried. And we could put something on it, put some eggs. No, we could put wanting to jump up some flowers. No. Oh, what have we got here? That's nice, that one. Maybe a butterfly. Or that's nice, isn't it? Come on, help me out. What do you think? Shout it out. Do you like it? Don't you like it? Ah, playtime. It's all about now layering it up, isn't it? And getting what you like best. Not that. God, I've got a little bird. No. No. I think the flowers. I think definitely flowers. And see, I did like this. I did like that on there. But do we want purple flowers with that? I don't think we do we? Nope. Let's have a look. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that would be nice. Yep. So it's about now layering it up, having fun, planning what you want on to put on your piece of work. Oh, I know what we could put on there. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You know, I could grab out the vintage buttons and things, couldn't I? I'm going to put some of this on. I'm going to get the green. So this is like bandage, just cotton bandage. It's like cheesecloth, isn't it? And we can put that on. Just make it a little bit shredded. If we put that on, there, sort of scrunch it on there a bit. Put that on. It's all about layers and textures, don't you think? And our butterfly. Feels very quiet. I think it's because I'm out in the garden. Well, I'm not in the garden, but my little house is, my little craft shed's in the garden. There we go. So then we need something in there. No, let's just leave that like that. Open it up. And we want something on there. That goes nicely with the colours, doesn't it? Or do we go bolder? Ooh, go bold. Anyway, I ordered some nightwear for my daughter who's expecting. I thought I'd get some really nice nightwear, maternity and nursing things, and nightwear, and it's all arrived today from a company called Chelsea Pier, I think, and it's absolutely beautiful, really, really stunning, and it has come so beautifully packed that I'm not even going to unpack it because it's all wrapped very beautifully in tissue. I'm not even going to unpack it to look at it before I give it to her. I'm just going to wrap the boxes. I mean, the boxes are lovely as they are. Perhaps I don't even need to wrap the boxes. Just put some lovely tissue on. But they're just, this eldest daughter of mine loves unwrapping presents. Right, there we go. What's that? Oh, should I put something like that in? Nope. 6.5D. I like that one. Yes. So yeah, she loves unwrapping presents. So I'll wrap the box. We'll wrap the box. There we go. Beautiful. Now I'm going to get my pack of pre-made things that I've made. See if any of them will fit into there. First of all, let's do the ephemera side. So I just wanted to put some bits and pieces in because, you know, deconstructed journal. That's nice. So we need some journally bits in so that whoever has this can construct your journal. Let's get some of these lovely little, oh, these are pretty, aren't they? Grasp. Look forward to it. These are from, dare I say, Temu. I don't normally buy from Temu, but somebody said to me, oh, give it a try, you'll love it. Did I love it? No. However, those are those. Right, so we've got a little selection in that side. I think I like that better on the top. Got those there. Let's move Temu out the way. Right, that's that side. So we want something in there and then something in there. Let's have a look in my ready prepared box of bits. Oh, that's nice. That's a little letter with the word, with that lovely bird on it. That's nice, but it doesn't fit in there. Don't think. Oh yes, it does. It fits in there. It would go like that. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Just hanging down there. And inside is a little tag that I've made, a little mixed media tag I've made in the past. So these are things I've made for other journals that I've had left over. So that can go there. So we could probably do with something here. Should we put her there or does she look a bit random? I don't think she does actually. Not when it's all put together. She can go there. Beautiful. Does she need something with her? Does she need a little flower? I think that would look quite nice on there as well, don't you? I've only been on 17 minutes doing this. I feel like I've been on ages. I think it's because it's so dark outside. My husband's turned the outdoor lights on. I can't believe how dark it is. Right, so that can go there with that just peeping over. Then inside, so this is an envelope, like a little file folder made from a reproduction of a letter from France. Let's have a look. That's quite a cute little faux envelope. Now is that a little bit too... Oh, that's quite nice in there. Oh, to the one I love. Now I know it isn't Valentine's, however, That is nice, isn't it? Would she have that? Not sure. Not sure. Let's have another little ferret through my bits and bobs here. See what we've got available. What about this little fairy? Oh, it's just a little bit too big. A little bit too big. No, I think we're going to stick with the Valentine, should we? Yeah, here we are. I'm going to stick with the Valentine. Because, in fact, that could have been a gift of somebody that this lady who owns these beautiful vintagey style art items has saved. Right, let's do that. Right, what I'm going to do now is get some sari silk. Here we go, hand-dyed sari silk. I put a link to my shop, and this is available in my shop. Right, let's get some off here. Whoop. I want to bring this round and tie this. I'm going to bring it there, and I'm going to tie this. I'm all fingers and thumbs me when I'm tying a bow because I'm not very good at it. And there we go. That's beautiful. I say so myself. So there we go. There is what we're going to call it, a vintage letter turned into a tiny file folder for inside our deconstructed journal. So I'm just going to finish the other one myself, and then I'll bring you back to show you what this one looks like too. Let's have a quick look inside this one. As we've seen inside the other one, you'll get the inside of this one at the end of this video. So here we go. So it's a copy of an old letter written in French, which I decided to make into a little folio, ephemera folio, for in my, a bit of blue there, for in my deconstructed journal kit. So we've got a little sort of scrap piece there, and a little card that says artist. It's just caught on the glue. There we go. And then inside, so it opens up this way. So here we've got various ephemera. So there's some Tim Holtz, and then some other bits and pieces of pretty paper as well. And they are in this side, this little pocket. And then on this side, we have got some writing space there. And then we've got a reproduction of a letter from 1907, complete with little tea and coffee stains. And that just sits there. And then another little Tim Holtz piece of ephemera. And that sits in there.